guys, Glowstring Theory. I'm doing this tutorial for two reasons. First off, there's not much else to do at like 2 o'clock in the morning, but second, I've had a lot of requests for some simpler tutorials for things like you know, basic Wheeze, butterflies, basic alternate arm wraps, that kind of thing, for some people who want to get started. And before I do any of those, I just wanted to kind of do one video on, you know, how to just get started glowstringing. You know, just the basic questions that anyone starting off is going to have, but aren't really addressed in a lot of places on the internet. First off is, what do you use? For the glow sticks, you can really, you can really use any old pair of glow sticks for practice. You just want to make sure they have some sort of loop here. A lot of the times they'll also have a hook. You just want to make sure that there's a kind of loop there that you can tie a string through. You can probably find glow sticks that will work at just, you know, the dollar store. I think OmniGlow actually has like some sort of deal with most dollar stores that you can find 4- and 6-inch glow sticks by OmniGlow in different colors. But the biggest part is that just they've got that loop. You don't want ones. Some will just kind of have a cap on here that it's got a loop in the cap, but the cap can come off. You don't want that because then you're swinging and oops, it's gone. So you just want to make sure it has a solid loop on there that's not going to like break or anything. That shouldn't be too hard to find glow sticks that work with that. In terms of buying actual glow sticks, I recommend extremeglow.com. They have great deals on regulars, ultras, which are super bright. There's a minimum order of $25 though, which might throw you off, but they've got a lot of good deals, so that's where I buy my glow sticks from. If you're looking into Poi, Home of Poi is a great resource for that kind of thing. Also, if you go to Home of Poi, use the code LILRAVERBOI, LILRAVERBOI, and that'll save you something like 15% on your purchase. And it'll actually get him some money too. As for strings, you can really use any shoelaces as long as they fit through the holes. I get mine at just the dollar store, and there's a lot of different ways of tying your strings on. Some people just thread it through the hole and then tie it at the end. What I do is I just tie the string into a loop like this, and I'll knot it. I'll probably like triple knot it with what's called a surgeon's knot. It's like a square knot. I just do a regular knot up at this end, and I get this loop. And then I thread the loop. The way I do it is I thread the loop through the glow stick hole, and then pull the rest of it through. I don't know how much of this you can see, but that way I can remove the glow stick if I want to change the glow stick without having to kill the strings. But there's a lot of info if you go to glowsticking.com or genxglow.com. That's GENXGLOW.com. They'll all have information about like how to tie strings. You can really do it any way you want. It's mostly a preference thing. Same thing with how you hold your strings. The one thing that you don't want to do is hold your strings just like this, like pinched between fingers or something, because that can slip out of your grip really easily. You want to at least have it hooked onto some finger or, you know, wrapped around your hand, something like that, so it doesn't go flying. I keep mine around my middle finger like this, because that way it's easy to wrap up, it's easy to get a good grip on it. Or I can let it slide to this joint, and that gives me control as well. That's just my preference. Again, where you hold the strings is just it's really a personal decision kind of thing. It's just whatever suits you best. Let me see how long this video is. I got a few minutes. Then just before you try learning any moves whatsoever, this is if you're just beginning, you want to just get used to swinging the glow stick. So once you've got your glow stick, tied the shoelace, got your grip, and also message me if you need more info on any of those things. You should be able to figure it out, but if not, let me know. you want to get used to just swinging the glow stick. Now when you first start, you're probably going to find you have to move your arm a lot, and that's more than you want to do. You should be able to do it eventually with just your wrist or even just your fingers. But you want to imagine yourself standing as if you're looking down a railroad track. It goes far ahead of you and far behind you. And you want to get used to swinging the glow sticks so that way they're like the wheels on the railroad track. They have to be parallel with those tracks. You want them to be straight up and down because the planes become very important. Your planes are what make the difference between this and this. It's just, if you don't have good planes, it's a mess. By the way, these are poi, for those of you who don't know. It's very important to work on your planes. Just practice taking them and swinging them on either side of you. And just imagine it's a wheel or something. You really, really want it to be up and down and as if you were on the railroad track along that line. That's called wheel plane, for the seemingly obvious reason. There are two other planes that you'll do different moves in. See, the wheel plane is what you use for things like weaves, like this. This is a weave that you do in the wheel plane. Then there's things called the wall plane, which that's if you're facing a wall, that's this whole area in front of you. And it does technically apply to the area behind you like this, although you probably don't need to worry about that yet. The wall plane is this whole area in front of you. So that's, you might be doing butterflies in that plane. You do what's called windmills in that plane. That's the wall plane. Wall is if you're standing facing a wall, it's parallel to that wall. So practice spinning things in that plane. You want to make sure it stays steady. You can have a steady circle going. This part's really important because you need to be able to spin the glow stick or the poi fast enough to keep in a circle, because if you don't spin it fast enough, it's going to do this kind of thing, and you're not going to have control over it. But if you spin it too fast, then it'll fly out of control, and you won't be able to do any moves. And then the last plane is ceiling and floor plane, which it's basically just anything that's parallel to the floor. You'll use this for I don't know, things like horizontal buzz saws. Most commonly, you'll use it for the corkscrew, which looks like that. That's probably the least commonly used plane, but it's good to get used to, swinging your glow sticks or your poi in that plane. Just get used to it. The biggest thing when you're starting off is really just constantly swinging them, getting used to, winging these things around, learning, getting the muscle memory for just swinging them in circles, I think that one of the best ways to learn is to keep either a pair of poi or a pair of glow sticks right by your desk I don't know if you have a computer in your room, but if you do, right by your computer. And every time you're, waiting for a web page to load or watching a YouTube video, pick them up and just swing them a little bit. Get used to swinging them, because if you can't do this with no problem, then you're going to have a lot of trouble doing any of this. So let's see how much time I have left. Okay, I've got like a minute left, and I mean I can upload videos as long as I want because YouTube's made me a partner, but I don't like to go over 10 minutes because I feel like that's just too long and it gets boring. So, to recap, glow sticks with a good loop. You can use just shoelaces as your strings. You can tie them however works for you. There's plenty of info about that online, but message me if you need more help on that. Again, you can hold them however feels comfortable, however works for you. ExtremeGlow.com is a great place for buying glow sticks. Homeofpoi.com is a great place for buying poi or anything similar. And yeah, there's wheel plane, wall plane, Ceiling and floor plane. Ceiling and floor plane. So just get used to swinging them, get the feel for it, and just get comfortable with them, and it'll really help you when you try to learn different moves. Because some people will they'll go ahead and they'll learn all the beginner moves, but they're not actually good. They don't actually have good control over their glow sticks. So don't try to do things fast. Try to do things slow and controlled, because I've seen a lot of people get through a lot of beginner moves really fast, and they can do them, but they do them messily, and then they really struggle when moving on to more advanced things, because they don't have enough control over the glow sticks or over the poi to learn the more advanced stuff. So just make sure you don't fall into that pitfall. Get used to just spinning the glow sticks and the poi before you move into anything too crazy. All right, this has been Glowstring Theory. Hopefully this helped. I'm out.